In order to be able to use the LID methodology, you must first be able to read and understand an ERD, or entity relationship diagram. An entity relationship diagram is nothing more than a graphical representation of the relationships within a database between a person, place, or thing. In this diagram, you can see two objects, student and student certification. Entities are tables in a database which describe a concept, such as student or student certification. Attributes are the properties and or characteristics of the entity. In the case of the student entity or table, the student ID and name are attributes of the student, whereas student ID, certification name, and date are attributes of the student certification table. Relationships are the association between two entities within a database. In this case, we can see that the student is related to the student certification table. How you read relationships between two entities or tables is referred to as cardinality. Cardinality means the number of times a record from one entity can be related in another entity, i.e., the relationship. And this is described through symbols on the relationship itself. If you look at the chart on the right, you can see the various types of symbols used to define cardinality. To utilize the LID methodology, understanding the most basic cardinalities of one or many is enough to get started. So how do you read cardinality? Well, fairly simply. It's just like looking at your left or right hand. We always read from left to right. What direction you start from will infer how the relationship is read. Remember, cardinality means the number of times a record from one entity can be related in another entity. In this example, reading left to right results in the following. One student record can be related to many student certifications. Reading right to left, the relationship reads as one student certification record can be related to one student record. Here are some practical examples of cardinality in action within a real entity relationship diagram. One-to-many and many-to-one relationships always define one record within an entity that can be related to many records in the other entity and vice versa. As we discussed, an example here might be one student record can be related to many student certifications. Or, reading in reverse, one student certification record can be related to one student record. The second type of relationship you may see is what's referred to as many-to-many relationships. One record from an entity can be related to more than one record in another entity and vice versa. This actually creates circular logic in SQL. So a bridge table is created to break the many-many to relationship into two relationships, one-to-many and many-to-one. The example here is a course record can be related to many student records, and likewise, a student record can be related to many courses. By inserting a bridge table into the middle, we can break that into a one-to-many and a many-to-one. The last type of relationship is a one-to-one. Simply, one record from an entity can be related to one record in another entity and vice versa. An example could be a student record can be related to one honor roll record, and in reverse, one honor roll record is related to one student.